What's going on, guys? Unfortunately, a lot of people looking into keto, zero-carb, carnivore diets are misguided by people like Dr. Sean Baker, who eat 4 porterhouse steaks every day. And although this aggravates me to no end, I'm not the kind of person that likes speaking negatively about anyone. It's just a little bit disheartening to me because this diet is literally the opposite of what people are thinking. Animal foods literally have the highest bioavailable vitamin content out of any food on the planet. And by animal foods, what I'm thinking about is wild-caught fish, organ meats, high-quality dairy, pasture-raised eggs, not really muscle meat, because although muscle meat, if it has a large amount of fat, can have vitamins A and K in the fat and be almost a nutritionally complete food, it's not, and it's certainly not ideal for human health. So the most important thing to keep in mind that clarifies things for most people is that paper value does not necessarily equal what your body's absorbing. Every vitamin in plant foods, from beta-carotene being mislabeled as vitamin A, vitamin K, calcium, magnesium, whatever thing is in a plant food, I can explain to you why it's not metabolized efficiently in its plant form. Beta-carotene requiring fats and other precursors to be digested, magnesium, calcium, potassium, all those things being inhibited by the oxalates that are in the vegetables. You have vitamin K, which in the human digestive system in the plant form isn't available when compared to vitamin MK4 in animal foods. The body actually has to convert the plant form of vitamin K into the animal form of MK4 in the body, whereas if you just consume the animal food, you get it as is. All the other vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin E, any vitamin you can name that you're concerned isn't in animal foods, or you think isn't in animal foods, it's very difficult to get accurate testing on these foods because there is vitamin C in liver. It just a lot of time it isn't tested for it, and then also a lot of glands and organs. No one is going to test the organ meat of fish or the intestines of fish. No one's going to do a full nutritional evaluation of lobster roe. It's very important to keep in mind that organ meats and a lot of undesirable animal parts that we should be eating don't necessarily have accurate nutritional information, because those vitamins, vitamin C and E, are in those specific things I mentioned that people don't usually like eating. Brain tissue, for example, has, I think, the highest amounts of EPA and DHA out of any food there is. Literally one of the healthiest foods you can eat, but kind of grosses people out. I don't want to talk about that too much. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what I mean by nutrient-dense animal foods. So to achieve this, you could do research, and like I said, you could find out, okay, what foods have what fat-soluble vitamins, and how do I get all of them in high amounts? You could do that, or you could eat nose to tail, which is just consuming all parts of the animal. If you buy some mackerel at the supermarket, don't have them gut the fish, keep the guts, eat the whole fish, all of it. Obviously, most people don't want to do that, and foods like salmon roe, which are nutritionally complete, can be supplements to the diet, but those, as I said, require that precursor knowledge of what's in it. So yeah, you could supplement cod liver oil pills and take a vitamin K supplement instead of consuming all these crazy organ meats, and achieve the same goals. But it really just depends on how you want to do it. The eating nose to tail way, okay, if I eat 4 pounds of steak a day, maybe I should eat the equivalent. So if a cow weighs 600 pounds and there's 400 pounds of muscle meat, well, maybe I should eat 15 to 20% of my calories from only organ meats. You could look at it that way, and then have organ meats a couple times a week. Or you could say, oh, I know that liver has vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C. I know that marrow is very high in vitamin A. I know that brain tissue has a lot of EPA and DHA. And then you combine all those foods into a meal and you get a balanced nutritional profile. Whatever you do, the goal is nutrient density. So now, what are we achieving? People always say, oh, am I going to get nutrient deficiencies, or micronutrients so important? Yet people don't know why micronutrients are important. They're involved in every metabolic process. So if you need to heal a cut on your arm or a cyst on your face, you require vitamins to do that. The less vitamins you have, the longer it's going to take, and it could take someone to heal a cyst on their face years, whereas someone like me who's consuming liver every day would heal in a couple of days. your body is drawing on resources to do certain things, and if it doesn't have those resources, that's when things like diseases, various negative things associated with humans now happen. That is the main difference between someone eating steak every day and someone like me who eats liver, brain, raw, wild-caught fish frequently, is the optimization of metabolic processes and how well our, mainly the processes of cell differentiation and gene expression, basically how every cell is made in the body. It is being done at an optimal level. These vitamins and minerals are much more important to early human growth and development and early stages of life. You could live to 100 years old as long as you have small amounts of these vitamins in your diet. Now, what is that steak-only diet doing that people are seeing success? So, inherently people tend to consume fat-soluble vitamins on accident when they come on this diet. So they do start eating a lot more eggs, they start eating a lot more dairy, and even if it's not from a high-quality source, they still get enough fat-soluble vitamins because they're eating all of their calories from animal foods. That tends to be the case why most people that go on this diet are fine. But by only consuming steaks every day, you're reducing all inflammation out of your body. And chances are your body already had adequate fat-soluble vitamin stores. It just wasn't able to heal itself with such high levels of inflammation. So now that you're only consuming steaks, you remove all inflammation, your body can heal itself and be on a much higher level of function than it was. That being said, someone who's consuming a standard American diet that consumes an incredible amount of fat-soluble vitamins arguably would heal themselves as well, if not better, than someone on a meat-only diet without the fat-soluble vitamin content. The whole point I was getting at in this video is that the nutrient density of your diet is the most important thing. You could eat, any food you want. You could eat a Twix bar every day, and if you're consuming a large amount of fat-soluble vitamins, your body can heal itself and deal with the inflammation and all of those things better than someone who isn't. Most indigenous civilizations got 35 to 50% of their calories from plant foods. Those foods definitely do have a place in the human diet. I don't want this video to go too much longer. I think I've touched on a few important points and I've given you guys enough information to do your own Googling or whatever. So I'll do a video on like a meal example that's very close to what Dr. Shawn Baker's doing and just show, the slight difference. One thing I'm not sure if I mentioned is vitamin D3 and its importance in this diet, and it needs to be supplemented, or you need to stand in the sun for 6 hours naked every day. But I'll do a separate video on that as well.